Hello and welcome to another Stellarian Games video. In this episode, we're going to be looking at how to make some basic inspiration tokens for Dungeons & Dragons. I recently started up a new campaign with a group of friends, and it's a group of friends that have not played before, but interestingly, all of them have children. They're bringing them along, so my son is running another campaign for the children. So we have a kids table for D&D as well as an adult table. So we needed some inspiration tokens so that both tables would have enough to share. In this video, we're going to be looking at a couple different methods. All of them are using these small wooden discs to use as the tokens. But I wanted to see if I could decorate them in some interesting ways. This one I painted to look kind of like a metallic. The others I did some wood burning and just did a kind of a gloss finish over the top of them. I like the wood tokens because they can stack. They're a little bit easier to work with. The metallic one I think has some interest, but they don't stack. So I only made one of those just as kind of an experiment. I might use the same technique for other things in the future, but for now, I'm not going to use those for my inspiration tokens. So let's go to the table and see how this one is done. Okay, to begin with, I started experimenting with a couple different designs using the wood burner, trying to make some interesting eyes. The eye is what I was using for the inspiration token. That was kind of the theme for all of these. Just tried playing with different ones, some with edges, some without. And I found some small foam letters. I glued that on, and then using some tacky glue, I'm using the tip to just put on some drops of glue that would end up drying and looking like rivets. I spray painted that black, and then I'm using a cloth and some gold spray paint and using that to buff onto the black spray paint to give it more of a kind of a weathered metallic look. Onto the other ones, I decided to try some different designs of wood burning. I looked up a D20 pattern online just to see how hard it would be to wood burn it, and it seemed relatively easy. I just used kind of a cubicle shape to begin with and then just filled in the inner lines, and it worked pretty slick. Now I'm using the wedge edge of the wood burning tip to put in some indents around the edge, and then filling in the eye, or just a basic eye pattern with some side details. Very basic, but this is what I ended up going with, the D20 and this eye pattern for 2 sets of the inspiration tokens. Once all of those were wood burned, I'm just dipping them into some wood stain to give it a little bit of a darker color. In retrospect, I think it might have looked okay just using the plain wood. Some of the wood, when it was stained, didn't come out the best because it's not with the grain, but I think it worked overall pretty well. I'm just hitting it with some gloss spray, and that's the finished product. So we have a couple different variants. Here's that metallic coin. I think that turned out pretty cool the way that it ended up, but I ended up going with more of the wood tokens because they were more stackable. The D20 really worked out pretty well and was fairly easy to wood burn. This might be my favorite for the inspiration tokens. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you.